By the Railways Act of 1921, 120 existing railway companies were amalgamated into four main groups: the London Midland and Scottish Railway, the LMS, the London and North Eastern Railway, the LNER, the Southern Railway, SR, and the Great Western Railway, GWR. Of these big four new groupings, the GWR was the only one to retain its original title. Some minor railways were excluded. This train has been assembled to show wagons from some of the companies that had disappeared by the time that the grouping was completed in 1923. The engine has an interesting pedigree. In the late 1880s, 40 GWR 3521 class locomotives for passenger trains were ordered to a design by William Dean. The first 20, 3521 to 3540, were 042 tank locomotives built in 1887 for the standard gauge, and the remainder, 3541 to 3560, were ordered as 042 saddle tank convertibles for the broad gauge. However, these latter locomotives proved to be unsteady in use, and the last of the broad gauge order, 3560, was instead built as an 044 bogie side tank. Subsequently, the rest of the broad gauge locos of the class were also converted to this layout. However, following derailments in Cornwall in the late 1890s, by 1902 all 40 locomotives of the class had been rebuilt in standard gauge to a reversed 440 tender layout, as depicted by our model of 3560, the last of the class. She was withdrawn in October 1923, so only just made it into the grouping period. The wagons are an eclectic mix of vehicles, typically found in a mixed goods train of the period, when virtually anything that had to go any distance went by rail. We have wagons from the Cheshire Lines Committee. This was a joint line run by a combination of the Great Central, Great Northern and Midland Railways around Manchester and Liverpool areas. Following this, we have wagons from the London North Western Railway, the Great Central, and one of the Great Western's celebrated iron minks, so called because when first introduced in 1889 they were made of iron sheets. The mink comes from the telegraph name allotted to covered vans. The final builds of the metal version were of sheet steel, but the name stuck. After this follows a Great Western open wagon. This type of wagon formed the bulk of the railway stock, and it is followed by a covered wagon from the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway, the LNWR we met earlier, and then comes a vehicle from the Cambrian Railways, CMRYS, as expected from Wales and later being absorbed by the Great Western Railway. Next, we have a privately owned coal wagon from the Primrose Colliery. TV is the initials of the Taff Vale Railway. We mentioned the Midland Railway, MR, earlier, and next comes a van from the London and South Western Railway for carrying gunpowder. Its construction is similar to the iron mink. Men working in such wagons would wear felt slippers to avoid unwanted sparks from hobnail boots. The next van from the Barry Railway, BR, is similar. The Barry Railway was formed a line to a new dock at Barry in an attempt by some colliery owners to avoid the congestion and delays at Cardiff, caused by the sheer volume of coal exports. The next three wagons are from companies mentioned earlier and are followed by one from the South Eastern and Chatham Railway loaded with sacks. Finally, bringing up the rear, the obligatory brake van, codenamed Toad. Did you know that Pendon Museum is a registered charity and relies on the support of visitors and friends of the museum to maintain and enhance this highly regarded attraction? Becoming a friend helps us to ensure that we can offer this unique in-house and online visitor experience for generations to come. We would love to welcome you to our group, and we offer many benefits for a small annual fee. For further information, please click the link below.